Luxcana from Luxury Gaming, and I'm here with
Mike Ferrante, Ferrante.
Okay, how did we do today?
So I went 5-1-3. I had 44 points on the bubble, and I got 68.
Ooh, but that's okay.
Yeah, it was a fun weekend.
You still got to let it go.
Yes, we did get to let it go. It was
and
a
lots
fun
of
weekend.
laughs.
Yes. It was an eventful weekend. I almost switched my deck the night before, but I am the red-purple player, so I had to play red-purple.
So now, you really should not switch your deck the night before, right? Because, why?
I think when you come to these events, you play the deck obviously you're most comfortable with. Switching last minute isn't really that looked upon because you play the deck that you have the most reps in. Like I have like thousands of games at red purple, and I almost switched. And then inking and mulligan and knowing the lines you need to take is very important in this game. You ink the wrong card or you mull the wrong card, you lose the game. So
okay, let's see the red purple deck you're playing.
All right, so it's pretty standard, but we got the 4 followers and 2 brooms. I was on 6 1-drops. I felt like in these big events, I didn't want to miss out on a 1-drop. It's huge when you play the 1-drop on turn 1. And
you think 6 is the perfect to get one every single time you mulligan or?
Yeah, like I said, I wanted to increase my odds of seeing the 1-drop because the deck only plays limited 2-drops, and if you play against a deck that is aggro heavy or pushing war early, if you miss a 1 and a 2-drop, it's very bad for you.
It's hard to come back
I wanted to increase my odds of drawing a 1-drop, so I played 6. And the obvious 4 Flynn, 4 Snake is my 2-drops. Pretty standard. Nothing different there. And then I got 4 Friends. I only played 3 Maleficents. Instead of 4, I needed the flex spot for some other cards you'll see. For a Brawl standard. 4 Fox. And then these are 2 Peter Pan Shadow Finders. I had to let my teammate use them for the side events because we couldn't find any. This card was like the spice I was playing, I guess you could say. I wanted to increase my matchup against Green Steel as much as possible. And it never really came up against I played 2 Green Steel and I never really came up, but I wanted to increase my matchup against them.
Because this would get rushed into the Diablo once they quested
Yes,
with it.
And then also a lot of people don't respect you playing this, so they'll quest with their Bucky or their Flynn Rider or their little Cinderella, and then this will just crash into it and win you the game most of the times.
Now, why only 2?
I wanted to keep my uninkable count down. I was playing 3 in Chicago, and I just felt like it's really not that good into the other matchups, but it helps the Green Steel matchup a lot. And if you catch the people that quest with their Bucky and stuff, it kind of like auto wins you the game. And then the rest is pretty much kind of standard. But 4 Sisu, that wraps up the 3 drops. And then the best card in the deck, 4 Castle. Going into my round 8, I needed to win that round 100% to stay alive. I need 2-0. And I played the mirror match. And game 2, I played 3 castles, and there's just nothing you can do. The card's just too good.
When do you think it would be the optimal play to play the castle?
So the best time to play castle is open board, when there's nothing on the board for your opponent, because most of the time they need 2 things to answer your castle, like a Maui and something else, or 2 rush creatures, which is something that not a lot of decks have, where if they have, depending on the matchup, but if they have something on the board, especially the mirror match, like if they have 1 thing on the board, you always have to respect that they have Maui. And then if they answer your castle right away, you pretty much lose the game. In the mirror match, it's more of a marathon than a quick race, sprint.
So playing it turn 4 is not ideal?
Not in the mirror match. In certain matchups, like against red-blue and blue-steel and those matchups, you want to get it down on turn 4 if you can, because if they answer it, they're not doing what they want to do. And red-blue just has a hard time answering it anyway. I played against 3 red-blue decks, and every single one of them, at least one of the games, they Hercules to this, which is backbreaking, and you don't see it coming, but it keeps them in the game, and if it sticks around, it just wins the game. It gets to the point where it's protect the castle.
Protect the castle.
Yeah. And then for a goat, Michael Jordan. For a rabbit, Yeah, standard. Bugs Bunny.
And you always want to try to, in the mirror match, bounce the rabbit, right?
Yeah, it's
you don't really want to clutch with it.
It gets to the point where it's whoever cycles their rabbit the most is the one that's going to win the game. You never want to just like soft quest with it or leave it tapped if you can't bounce it. It's a card that wins you the mirror in the long run because, like I said, the mirror is more of a longer grind game than it is like, oh, I gotta like win right away.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that's probably the second best card in the deck. It just keeps the deck going. And then I only play 2 B King. A lot of people are playing 3. I cut 1 for the Peter Pan Shadow slot.
Okay.
And that card's another great card. I think the 2 best cards that the deck got from the new set was B King and Brawl. I think those cards are better than Flynn Rider. Yeah. And then for Mau Mau,
that's very standard.
Yep. Never play any less. And then 3 Medusa and only 1 Tremaine. I was playing 2 Tremaine, but I cut the other one for the Peter Pan Shadow. So my 2 cuts were 1 of these and 1 B Kings for the 2 Peter Pan Shadows. I figured it hindered my blue matchups, but it helped my green matchups and my like aggro matchups.
You can also technically the B Kings are like the Lady Tremaines, but a lower cost.
Yes, absolutely. Those cards are like mandatory to see into the blue decks because of all the ward stuff they play, Cogsworth and the Aerials, Tamatoa, and it gets to the point where if you keep cycling your Tremaine against the blue decks, they can't really do anything. You're just picking them off every single turn.
Okay.
And then final.
The Be Prepared.
Or Be Prepared. The board wipe of the deck. Best card since set 1.
Do you have any shout outs you want to make?
Yeah. Shout out Luxury Gaming. Best sponsor around. I love you guys. I love this family. Shout out to my wife that lets me go to these things. My kids, my stepkids, and my daughter. I love you guys. And then all the people that we hung out this weekend. We had Labyrinth at the house. We had Impact, a few of his friends. And it was a great weekend. It was great meeting all you people that came to these challenges. I signed a few cards. I took a bunch of pictures, and it's awesome doing those things. I greatly appreciate it. I'm humbled. I love it. So this community is awesome. Coming from other TCGs, it being toxic in those kind of TCGs is a relief to play in this kind of environment. So I appreciate it.
Okay, thank you guys.
Have a good one.